All right, buddy. So what's your name and where are you from?
All right, take two. My name is
Yeah, yeah.
Dallas, and I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, man. East Side 702, bro.
Okay, Dallas from Las Vegas, Nevada, as I would say it.
Nevada, Nevada,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. We already had a little 5 minute intro that we had to do a retake on, ladies and gentlemen. But I told him, I said I'd probably be looked at like a out of towner if I came over there and said Nevada,
Yeah, man. They would definitely know that you're not from around there, bro. They would definitely know that, and it's funny because my mom still has my mom's side of the family is originally from Southie Boston. They're originally from Dorchester, Massachusetts.
Oh,
So
okay.
my mom still has a Boston accent. So when we were in Vegas, everybody when she talked, man, everybody looked at her like, what the fuck? Where's she from? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah. So and I catch myself just from being around my mother and my grandmother. Saying words that like with a Boston accent. I've been there once in my life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, shit. It's your mama. Phrases and stuff are gonna tag along to you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Okay, so Las Vegas, Nevada.
Nevada.
Nevada. And look, okay. What was your journey like? How was your journey? Obviously, went down a little bit of a dark path if you're over here on 23 and one.
Yeah, well, yeah, well, I'm a recovering addict, man, and
Yeah.
I'm not no gangster. I'm not no tough guy. I'm none of that. I'm just a normal guy that got into a lot of shit and led to some extraordinary circumstances, dude.
Uh huh.
All across the United States, man. I traveled across the United States,
Hey,
basically
hey,
with
you used to
with
be a
with
firefighter though.
I was a certified firefighter. I was a certified dude. I got a congressional recognition from the Congress, dude, from my time when I was in the Coast Guard, bro. Like I accomplished some things in my life. I had a measure of success early on,
Yeah.
but then the drugs came in. See, bro, I didn't know that people in other states until I left Las Vegas. I didn't know that they didn't party like that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because everybody in Las Vegas gets high. Everybody does something out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when I left there and started traveling around and I started talking to other people, they're like, we don't do meth here, dude. What the hell is wrong with you? And I'm thinking, what? You guys don't do meth? What the fuck? How do you guys
Meth?
party out here? And they're like, we don't do meth. And I'm like, well, fuck, where the fuck am I at?
Meth?
But
Did this man just say meth to us?
yeah, dude, people didn't even know what it was. I'm like, yeah,
Sir.
I'm like, hey man, you guys, I'm like, but I found it. I would find it wherever I went, dude. Eventually, and
Really?
I told people 20 years ago. I said this shit's gonna take over, dude. And sure enough, every small town I've been to, man, that shit's everywhere now. You know what I mean,
I gotta hear some of your stories on how you found it, man. Because that's not
bro?
really an easy thing to find.
You can pretty much tell who's doing it, man. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
really?
If you run into a motherfucker at 5 a.m.,
You can
he's either
tell.
going to work or he's tweaking, bro. There's either one too. You know what I mean? So you're gonna find your shit at night because tweakers are, they're twacked out. They're clucking around, dude. They're in the corners and shit in the darkness, peeking out of shit. So I would go to neighborhoods. I'd just start asking motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And eventually it would lead me to you know what I mean, like being hooked up, man. But I really don't. You know what I mean? It's just I really don't. That was a tough time in my life. I did a lot of shit, and it
Yeah,
led me
yeah.
to being in jail in several different states and seeing a lot of shit and experiencing a lot of shit, man.
Well,
You know,
where the hell did all this begin, man? Where did it begin? Let's start from the beginning.
it began in Vegas.
In Vegas.
Yeah, it began in Vegas, bro. Like I have an uncle in my life, Uncle Pete, man, and
Uncle Pete, he sounds
I
like
looked up to
trouble,
him, man.
man.
He was big time trouble. That's why I looked
Oh
up to him, dude.
no,
Listen,
no, not
check
Uncle
it out, though.
Pete,
This
man.
is the thing. This is the thing, though, man. I just talked to him last night, bro. I just talked
Okay.
to him last
Shout
night. He's a
out Uncle
gangster, bro.
Pete.
He's a gangster, but
Okay, okay.
Uncle Pete, bro. I'm sure he'll holler at you, but he's a cool motherfucker, bro. But anyway, what's funny is my family has always been in law enforcement, bro. Like
Uh
my
huh.
my grandfather was in the FBI, bro. They were from Boston, Southie Boston. He became a Boston police officer, and then he got into the FBI.
Uh huh.
Well, my two uncles went the other way, dude. They went the criminal life,
Yeah.
and they fuck with like real like Italian mobsters. We're Scotch Irish, so we could never go anywhere in that life, but we fucked with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, my uncle was heavy into that with a couple guys in Vegas, but we were talking about stories last night, dude. We got some crazy stories, bro. He drove his truck, international scout, up on the steps of the Monte Carlo one time, and just got out and tossed his keys to the fucking guy, and we walked it. Like, dude, he knew people, you know, it was crazy, bro. But anyway, he was big, he was buff, he was good looking. He was like me, but he was 6'3", 275, and he had all the bitches, dude, the car, everything. So I looked up to him. I'm like, what is he doing, man? What's his formula for success? Because I want to follow that.
Uncle
and
Pete.
I'm like 11, 12 years old, dude, and all I'm doing is listening to rap music. I'm out here hanging around with gangbangers, and in Las Vegas when I was young, the people that I was hanging out with, the neighborhood, it was mostly Mexicans. And in Las Vegas, there was a gang called Gerson Park. They called themselves Gerson Park Kings, and they wore green. It used to be, they tore it down. Now it's not there anymore, but it was like a little housing project, apartment building out there. And it was how it came to form is they had Crips and Bloods living there. So they came together and they just formed their own kind of shit together, and they decided to take on the color green and call themselves Kings. So it was GPK. So in that little area I was in, everybody wore green, Nike Cortez with the Dickies and the T-shirts and the Oakland A's hats and all that shit. I was 12 years old rocking all that shit, man. And so I thought at that point, man, this is cool, dude. This is what I want in my life. This is what I want to do. And that's when I was like 11, 12 years old, man. And I started getting in a lot of trouble, man. Me and my homeboys had this little, and everybody was my age except one guy. He was 16. And this dude, I don't want to say any names, man, because I don't want to.
No names. No names.
Story, but my homeboy, he looked just like Easy-E, bro. The Jerry curl, everything, dude, everything. And but we used to play football in the park. But we started stealing hood ornaments, man. This is one of my first hustles when I was young. On the east side, I would sneak out at night when my mom, I was like 11 years old, 12 years old. I'd sneak out when my mom was sleeping, and me and my homeboys would jump the bus because the bus ran 24 hours in Las Vegas. So we'd jump the Charleston bus and we'd go across town to like Summerlin or one of the nice neighborhoods in there, and we'd steal hood ornaments off of cars, dude.
Hey, I used to do that. I used to have a JanSport bag full of them.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I saw my brother doing it, and it led me to do it later on down the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we had a dude that had a garage on the east side, Mexican dude that had a garage on the east side, and he would buy them. He'd give us $10 a piece for them, and the gold Cadillac ones, he'd give us 20 for them, right? So we were doing all that, dude. We were just whatever, dude. We were getting whatever we could, man.
I was just getting them for collections.
Well, we sold them. We took them to the fence.
That's crazy.
I had a little knot. It was all 5s and 10s and shit, but I thought I was balling, dude.
Yeah.
And but I remember the day my mom was on to me, bro. She knew I was sneaking out, but she couldn't control me. What was she gonna do? She even moved into a fucking on the upstairs apartment, so she thought I wouldn't be able to sneak out that way, and I ended up crawling out a window and crawling down a pipe and going out every night.
Hey, we get sneaky, don't we?
Bro, yes, savage, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, so anyway, I'm doing that shit, and then one day I'm in my bedroom. I'll never forget this for the rest of my life, dude. It was the night that Bo Jackson, it was Monday Night Football. Bo Jackson ran over Brian Bosworth on the goal line that night, right? And I remember I'm sitting in my bedroom watching this, and all of a sudden on my bedroom door, boom, boom, boom. I said, man, that's not my mom. My mom don't knock, like that, Sure enough, it was the cops, dude. 3 of them came in. They're like, we know what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. And they arrested me, and they brought me to a West Care facility, a juvenile facility in Las Vegas. And I sat there for
stealing
a while.
little decal things,
the hood ornaments and stealing some other shit. Like, I was into shit, dude. Anyway, so I went there. I stayed there for a couple months, and my mom came in one day. They called me up. West Care had 2 floors. The upstairs was like the murder, rapist kids, and downstairs was like the gangbangers and all that shit. And just kids that did bad shit. Well, my mom comes in one day and gets me, and they come in with one of the counselors, and they brought me into this room. And they said, okay, this is the deal. You're going to stay here for 6 months, or you're going to go to Pittsburgh and live with your grandparents. And I was like, let's go. Where's the plane ticket? You know what I mean? So I flew out of Vegas and ended up going to Pittsburgh, and again going to high school there. And I ended up staying out of trouble, and I ended up getting a football scholarship because of it. You know what I mean? So that was the best move I ever made, was leaving Las Vegas, because I'd be dead, or I'd be in prison by now, dude. Straight up, bro. There's just no if ands.
Okay, so were you into football in Vegas at all?
I was, bro. And the thing was we used to go to the park, man. And I would be the only white kid out there. And I'd be the fastest kid on the field, bro. Like, and these motherfuckers are looking at me, and I became a target because of that. You know what I mean? Like, I was always a target because I was the only white kid around. So, and then when I started to get better than the other kids and the older kids, I just became a target. I had to fight even more, bro. It was like a big thing. And by that time, gangbanging was really in my neighborhood at that time was really starting to get bad, man. The East Coast Bloods were going at it with some people, and it just started to get real bad, man. Real bad.
Were you into any drugs or at all before you left Vegas?
No, I was not.
Okay.
But I do remember. Well, at this time I wasn't. Later on, I was.
Yeah.
But I'm still talking about when I was young. I
Yeah.
do remember one
12.
time where I went into. I have addictive personality, bro. It's just I have to control it. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday process. It's an everyday battle.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sit here like I'm glorifying that. Like I'm not doing that at all, dude. I'm really not doing that. I hope nobody takes the wrong message from this, because my story is like I said, man. I'm not no gangster. I'm not no tough guy. I'm just an ordinary guy that did a lot of shit, and it led to extraordinary circumstance. And I believe that my story may be able to help somebody else. Maybe somebody will watch this someday and be like, man, I don't want to be like that guy. Let me go the other way. Let me try something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was one instance where I was like, I was 11. I went to my friend's house. And I went in his bathroom and he had some pills, and I took one, bro. For no reason. I was just like, fuck it, let me take one, bro. And I remember taking one. And I remember going home, and I remember just I don't know what it was, but I remember laying in my bed and looking at my bedroom like this, fucking just skied out of my mind, bro. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
And but that was my first real instance of that's when I knew I was kind of an addict. That's when I could trace it back, because I just took it for nothing, just to change my mindset, man. Because, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you're doing good at football. You're going to your grandparents' house in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, correct?
Yeah, well, it's 50 miles east of Pittsburgh. It's a little town called Ligonier. It's right next to Latrobe, where the Pittsburgh Steelers have their training camp. I'm a huge Steeler fan, dude. Black and yellow till I die. But yeah. So I went out there, man, and I ended up doing good, dude. I stayed on my P's and Q's like my whole high school, because I knew I wanted to get a scholarship.
Yeah.
The first letter ever, I started going to football camps, and like in the summer, I went to Merrill Hodge football camp. I got MVP 2 years in a row. I started to get attention my 10th grade year. I got my first letter from Clemson University, my 10th grade year. So I knew I could do something, because my 10th grade year, I was like 210 pounds. I was running like a 4.6 40. I mean, I could dunk a basketball, dude. I got all these highlight films on my Facebook, all this shit. All this shit that I tell you is verifiable, man. I don't tell no fucking lies. I'm 100%. But
excellent.
I got game films on Facebook. You check them out, whatever. But
cool.
But yeah, so I stayed right in high school, man. All I did in high school was lift weights and mess with females, and that was it, dude. That's all I did. I partied maybe 3 times in high school. I threw a rager at my house. My grandparents left for the weekend one time. I went to Harrisburg.
Ooh.
I threw a huge party at my house. I invited like 10 people. There ended up being 50 people at my house.
Nice.
And the next day, dude, my grandparents were coming back, bro. Check it out. And I had one of my homeboys stay there with me and clean up all the fucking shit, everything, dude. Somebody puked all over my bathroom and was sleeping around my toilet. Joe, I'll say his name, Joe D. Virgilio. I'm gonna put you out there.
God dang you, Joe D.
I'm gonna put him on blast, bro. Fuck it, man. But anyway, he was hugged up around my toilet, dude. There was a chick at the party, dude. I had to control this. It ended up being more of an issue than I had a good time. There was a chick there trying to stab people with I had to hide my silverware in a closet and shit. Like it was just crazy. But anyway, the next day we cleaned it up, man. And my grandparents come home from the car show in Harrisburg. I'm up in my room like, hell yeah, I got away with them, clicking my remote, watching Fresh Prince or whatever. And all of a sudden I hear my name, Dallas. And I'm like, fuck. And I go downstairs. She goes, what's this? And it was one honey brown cap in between the cushions and the couch. And I was like, yeah, I had a couple beers. And they're like, but my grandfather used to be cool about shit, man. It was my grandmother that used to trip. The FBI
Honey Brown?
Hold
on, Honey Brown? What the hell is that?
It's a beer.
Never heard of
it, man. Yeah, Honey Brown. We are in Pennsylvania. A lot of people drink Icy Light, Yingling, Rolling Rock, Honey Brown. You know what I mean? It's like
I was thinking about a honey bun or something coming out the seat cushion.
Yeah. I don't like it. I'm more of a vodka guy, but anyway. But they caught me. But my grandfather I used to have a weight set in the basement of the house, man. I used to go down there and lift weights all the time. And there was a refrigerator down there. My grandfather was cool about shit. But he didn't speak a lot about anything. He would come down and put a 30-pack in the fucking fridge, right?
Yeah.
And I would drink them all, and he would never say nothing. He would just replace it and put another one in there.
Oh, yeah, that's a green light.
Doing cool. Yeah, as long as I was doing cool and I wasn't getting in trouble, he was cool with it, man. But we just never told my Nana, dude. We kept that from my Nana, so. Because she would have tripped, dude.
Oh, green light special. Hey, that's cool, man. So I'm guessing they had More monetarily than your mother did growing up out there in Vegas.
Well, he retired in Las Vegas. My grandfather was an FBI agent, and he went from Pittsburgh to Las Vegas. That's how my family moved out to Las Vegas in the early '80s.
Okay.
This was after the Tony Lance Blatro and Joey Lombardo and Frank Rosenthal.
Yeah.
This is after that. My grandfather went out there and was watching some people and shit, whatever. And then he retired, and I think it was like 1984 or something. And then he moved back to Pittsburgh because they had built a house out there.
Yeah.
So that's where I went to live when I got in trouble when I was 12.
Okay.
Was in that house.
So there's more structure and all that stuff over there. For the most part.
Way more, dude. Listen,
yeah.
I was scared of my grandfather, bro. My grandfather was an FBI agent. He was a cop. He was a you know what I mean? Like he was a man of few words. He was very stoic. He didn't talk much, and that kind of intimidates people. And it intimidated me, man. Because I didn't want to disappoint him, dude. I didn't want to let him down. You know what I mean? I looked up to him, and he was just he's just the best man I ever knew, bro. And you know, straight up. And when he died in 1999, that kind of catapulted me and my uncle into a stretch where it was like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, bro. It was wild as hell, bro.
All right, man. Damn, sorry to hear that. Rest in peace to Grandpops. But at least you and Uncle Pete are still here and kicking and doing better things, I'm sure. But go ahead with the story, man. I'm sure escalate some more.
Okay, well, yeah, but dude, I got so many. Dude, it's crazy. I was thinking about this. I've been watching your channel for about a year and a half now, man. I watch a lot of your interviews, and they're good, bro.
Thank you, man.
I watch you. You're like the Johnny Carson of prison shows, bro. You're like the fucking top dog, man.
Hey, that's a hell of a.
I got to talk to Death, man. I got to talk to Death and shit. So when you hit me back, I was like, man, I was like, sweet. But anyway, so I ended up going to college, man. I ended up graduating high school. And I ended up getting a full scholarship to Temple University. And Temple University is in North Philadelphia. Okay, now, all I did when I was in school,
Philly's
all I did in school was
dangerous
party,
area. Yeah.
Party, man. I was in North Philly, and I stayed in Johnson and Hardwick Hall. And Johnson and Hardwick Hall is right on Broad Street in
I
North
know exactly
Philly.
what you're talking about.
In North Philly, but North Philly is a rough motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna see white people in that bitch unless you're on Temple's campus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I go there, and right across the street from Johnson and Hardwick Hall is there's Broad Street, and there was a row of frat houses, and that's where we all used to go party, man. And like I saw Pink before she was famous. She came to one of the house parties. She had an ass on her. Boy, it was nice. But I saw her in person.
Shit.
Like, we're good.
Yeah,
okay.
We're good. Now your camera went out.
Yeah, I know. Let me click back on it. Okay.
There you
Sorry
go.
About that, man.
So
I turned my notifications off on this phone. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, so I partied a lot. So I would take walks with my homeboy out in the neighborhood just because I didn't care. And out there it's like bodegas, and it's like where they deal dope. They'll have these houses where they'll just have these little doors and they slide them open, right?
Yeah, little window.
Yeah, a little window, dude. And so I would go up to those places. Because I thought I was invincible, dude. I was young. I was playing Division I football. I didn't care. So I would go to these places. Hey, man, what's up? You got some weed? So I ended up meeting this Jamaican dude, and he ended up selling me coke. This is when I first started getting into like really hustling coke, and so he was giving me a good $500 ounces, and I was selling $50 grams at these fucking parties, and I was flipping my money. I was, not to glorify the shit, but
yeah.
So I was, but then I started doing it, bro. Then I started doing it, and that's when everything unraveled. I had an injury because like in high school, we always played on grass, and when I went to Temple, we used to play in the old Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, and that turf was really hard. It was like concrete. So I have patella tendonitis in my right knee. And that's when it started bothering me. And so after 4 games, I played the first 4 games of the season, my true freshman year. One of those games being on ESPN, it was against Pitt. And anyway, that's awesome. On my Facebook, by the way. You can see that film. But yeah. So they started to my knee started to mess up on me, man. So after 4 games, I got redshirted my freshman year because I was going to have surgery on my knee. Well, by this time, I'm starting to get deep into it with the drugs and shit. I'm starting to do a lot. So I went to the doctor, and this doctor prescribed me Percocet for the first time. And I remember taking Percocet, and I remember thinking, man, this erased every bad feeling, all my anxiety, every issue I had. You know what I mean? I felt great, dude. So I just started popping these Percocet. That was my first that's when I knew, like, I told myself, man, I want to stay on these for the rest of my life. I just feel so good. And that's
And
my
those
addictive
are
personality taking
those
over.
an opiate? Those are opiates, right?
Those are opiates. Yeah, they're an opiate. They were Percocet 10s. They were little blue pills.
Okay.
But so I started taking those, man. And when my script ran out, I started buying them, and then that eventually led to heroin and methamphetamine and other things like that. Um,
Does
so it's
your
just progressive.
I hate to stop you, man, but I don't take pills like that, so I'm trying to get an idea. Does your let's say you get prescribed 10 milligrams after taking them for a while, do you just build up a tolerance?
Yeah, the perks. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same deal. I started taking one, which led to five, and pretty much I was taking 10. Because what happens is, man, is you start out here, right? And
Yeah.
when you first start taking them, you get high, but then you come down and you go a little bit below normal, and then you take them again, and you get high again, but you don't get as high. And then when you come off, you go back down a little bit lower. You know what I'm saying? Then you take them, you don't get
Ah,
as high. Pretty soon, you're just taking them to get normal again. You know what I mean? So it's and
that was a good way
that's
to
when you
explain it.
become a slave to it. That's when you become a slave to it, and that's when me, I'm the type, I'm when I need something, I'm any means necessary, man. It's get down or lay down, bro. I'm taking what I want when I get into that position. And so it's like I knew I didn't want to be that human being, man. I didn't want to do that because I had a conscience, man. I knew early on, even though I was hanging out with some gangbangers, I knew I didn't want to be really dive into that life because I knew I was gonna have to kill somebody. I didn't want to do that. I'm not a killer. I'm not that guy, man. And I witnessed when I was 12 years old. I witnessed a murder right in front of me that changed me, bro. Like that
Hmm.
that stained my brain forever, man. And so and then the use later on, it was to cover that memory up and just to get right, man, just to get normal again. You know what I mean? Just to
Hmm.
feel normal again
Yeah.
because you don't get high after a while. You're just trying to get back to normal,
Yeah.
because you wake up and you feel like shit, bro. You just feel like shit.
Yeah. That led to the dope and all that shit.
That led to the dope. And I always tried to, yeah, well, I was dealing hot and heavy too. I was trying to make money that way, man. And that lifestyle, is no good either. But that led me later on to robbing people. Um, and just getting into some real bad shit. I mean, I had a 22. It was an older Israeli 22, and it was the barrel was like this long on it, bro. And you know how people, you see rappers and a lot of guys, they hold their pistol like this, sideways like a fucking dumbass. Well, I never did that, but when I used this gun, there was a clip. I never had a clip, dude. I never had a round in it, dude. I was robbing all these crack houses and shit with no bullets in my gun, bro. So I'd go in there with one other guy and I'd hold my gun like this against the wall sideways so nobody could see that I didn't have a clip in my gun, bro. And like it could have went bad real quick. Any dope boy that would have been in that situation could have shot me. I mean, it
Hey,
could have
hey,
been bad real
hey,
quick.
you're breaking
But
up
I didn't
real
care.
bad, dude. I know, man.
I'm gonna get Wi-Fi. I'm getting Wi-Fi at my house, man. I just moved in here. Like we don't even have our furniture in here yet, so I'm just, you know what I mean. I apologize about that, but
It's all good. It's all
I'm
good.
going off my data.
It's all
Mm,
good. So you had the long ass 22 up to the wall, so they didn't see that you didn't have a
yeah,
clip.
and yeah, man. So the point of me telling you that was just my actions were becoming more and more brazen, bro.
Yeah.
I wasn't caring, you know what I mean? Because I just needed to feed my addiction. But I didn't really want anybody to know I was an addict. Because I still had that, let me make people think that I'm a gangster, type shit in my head, man. Like just ridiculous shit. And I wasn't that guy, dude. I was just fronting. I was fronting off on something, you know what I mean? I sit back and think about it now, and I'm like, man, I'm really fortunate. I'm really lucky to be here because I could have got killed so many times, bro. I mean, I've overdosed and died and been brought back, almost getting shot. You know what I mean? I almost had my face blown off. I mean, the round went so close to my face, bro, that I felt the heat from it, and I was running from a dude, and it chipped the wall next to me, and I remember I stopped when that happened. I remember I had this moment of clarity where I wasn't high anymore. And I was just like, wow, bro, like I just almost got my fucking face blown off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was I just been in so many intense situations that were unnecessary in my life because of my bad decisions because I needed to feed my habit, bro. You know what I mean? And that's when it led me. That's what basically every time I ended up in a county jail, it was because of drugs or fighting, man, or some other shit. You know what I mean?
Uh, our
So
connection is pretty bad, ladies and gentlemen. So I do apologize if there's a little delay when you see it. But let me ask you a question, man. I asked this to a lot of people that has had the experience that you said, overdosing. You know, pretty much dying and coming back to life. I mean, how the hell was that? Do you kind of just go to sleep and wake up like, damn, you know, I'm back type of situation? How was that?
it, bro, it was crazy as hell, man. I'll tell you what happened, man. I'll tell you one of the times. I can get into two of them, but one of the times was in Michigan, man. I was me and a dude, we had just hit a lick, man, and we had a bunch of pills. We had a bunch of 60 milligram morphines and just all kinds of stuff, man. It doesn't really matter what it was, but um, so we divided the stuff up, and so anyway, I ended up going to a hotel that night, and I ended up popping a bunch of pills and drinking vodka. And all I remember is I woke up on a table in Petoskey, Michigan, at a hospital, butt ass naked with nothing on, and with a heart cast they put in my wrist, going all the way up, to my heart. And I
Damn.
remember waking up, and I remember seeing the screen. I remember seeing my heart beating on the screen. Is the connection okay, man?
Yeah, it's
Because I kind of
actually
went
a
to the
lot
door a little
better.
bit.
It's a
Is that all
lot
right?
better, man. It's a lot better.
So anyway, I remember waking up, dude, in Petoskey, in the hospital in Petoskey, Michigan, and I remember watching my heartbeat. And the first thing I did, dude, is look down. I'm like, why in the hell am I naked? Why is my dick out? And I remember looking out and immediately looked down at my sock to see if my dope was still in my sock, and it wasn't there. And I was pissed, man. That's just the addict mentality, man.
Holy shit.
That was one instance, yeah, but you know what, dude, that did not stop me, bro. I kept going after that. I mean, it's just it's insane, man. That drive, that addict drive, man, to get that feeling. You're always chasing the dragon, bro. You're always chasing it. You know what I mean?
So you kind of
But
just went to
I
sleep,
was
man, and woke up.
I went to sleep. I don't even remember going to sleep, dude. What happened was the cleaning lady came in at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock the next day, and they couldn't wake me up, bro. And so they called an ambulance, and I guess got me out of there. And they found they stripped me butt ass naked. I don't know why they stripped me naked. I don't know why they didn't put me, but that's weird. But um, so yeah, and there was another time I was in Las Vegas, man, and I was been up for days. I was in a tweaker pad in Vegas, and my dealer came out to me and he said, "Hey man, I need you to try this for me." And it was some tar heroin. And I was like, "Man, I don't really fuck with it, you know what I mean? But I'll try it." And I remember doing it,
Shit.
and then I remember sitting on the couch, and I remember just falling forward, man, and my heart stopped. I mean, this was in Vegas, and they had the
Damn.
ambulance come out. I remember going to UMC, Universal Medical Center, and I remember waking up in the hospital there with all these things on me going down my body, and I immediately, after 2 days there, they wanted me to stay in the hospital. I checked myself out, and I went left and went and got high, bro. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, man.
But
Have you? I was gonna ask you, man. Have you ever been hit with the Narcan?
yeah,
How the
yep.
hell is
Last
that?
time they hit me with the Narcan when I was going in
Narcan.
Las Vegas.
Narcan. Okay.
Narcan, yeah, and they put it up your nose, and it bonds you have these receptors in your brain, and the opiates go to these receptors in your brain, and they coat these receptors, and that's how you feel it. What Narcan does is it goes in your body, and it actually takes the opiate off of the receptor, so you're not high anymore. As soon as they put it on in your system, you wake up, you're like, fuck, I've seen so many videos of them waking people up. They're like, "Fuck, man, you ruined my high." I'm
Yeah,
like,
they're
dude, I just saved
mad.
your life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're mad, dude. Like, I've known so many dudes like that, man. Like, I'm at a point in my life now where I'm past that, dude. I was just talking to my uncle about that last night. Like, I'm so far past. Like, I smoke weed, dude. I smoke weed like a motherfucker, bro. I'm a weed head,
Yeah.
and that's all I do now. Every once in a while I'll drink, but I don't ever let that lead me to other things now. You know what I mean? Because I can get out of hand real quick. And if I start thinking that way, then I remove myself from the situation, and I have to go and I have to help somebody else. Like, it's like I learned in recovery that, to get out of yourself, you have to help others, man.
Hmm.
And I found that when I started helping other people and really with their addiction and their lives, not only was I had a knack for it, I was good at it, but it helped me because I started seeing other people in their situation. I'm like, man, actually my situation is not that bad. And I started feeling better about myself, man.
Yeah.
And because I was thinking about, I wasn't in my own head and thinking about myself constantly and what's wrong with me, because addicts are very selfish, man. We're very selfish people. When we're in that state of mind, all we think about is ourselves, man. And that's when the grimy shit comes in. When we start taking shit, stealing shit, fucking doing all that grimy shit. That's when that happens, man. When you're in that state of mind. But and what helps me, it's a daily thing, dude. It's a daily grind. You know what I mean? It's not a, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You were frozen there for a minute, but it's a daily thing, bro. It's not a, it's every day I have to get up, and it's my day is very structured. It's routine oriented. I stick to structure, and I'm consistent, man. Consistency is the pathway to trust, and I have to stay to that, bro. Because once I start getting, varying from my routine every day, that's when trouble starts. You know what I mean? And usually it's females have a lot to do with it. I love females. I love girls, and they get me in a lot of shit because a lot of girls I love party girls. I'm from Vegas. I love the girls that like to party. So that's led me down a lot of, a lot of strange places, bro. But,
I can only imagine.
Yeah, man. I used to have penicillin on standby, bro.
Oh, hey, hey, let me ask.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, man. What would be probably the craziest thing you've seen in that tweaker pad you were just speaking about?
The craziest thing I ever saw was a huge sex orgy, man. With
How did I know you were gonna say something like that?
Yeah, because everybody was tweaking, man, and that's one of the things. Like I was never like that, dude. I was never a fucking weird. Like a lot of people do methamphetamine and they get fucking weird, bro. It weirds them out. I was never like that. I wanted to go out and do shit. Like when I did it, I wanted to go out and fuck around and be active, man. I didn't want to sit in the house, you know what I mean, places and twack out and look out the blinds and shit and do weird shit. I didn't want to do that. But it leads a lot of people to do weird shit. But yeah, man, I saw it full out. Just yeah, dude, a couple times, man. Yeah.
How many people you said?
I got the fuck out of there. I didn't participate. I wasn't part of it. About 8 people. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's weird, man. When you walk into, and it was in a garage, bro. And I'm talking about, they set their garage up to where they had all the shit. I got a picture of it, but
you got a picture of it.
Shit, like,
yeah, our connection's really bad. I'm gonna have to really work this on the editing. But well, let me ask you this, man. You've been locked up in numerous states. We haven't even started talking about lockup. I mean, what the hell changed your whole route? Was it lockup, or was it just you saying, "Hey, I'm tired of doing drugs"?
Being locked up definitely had a lot to do with it, man. Because not because of what I saw in there, because I saw because county, when you're in a county jail, man, it's a lot different from the joint, bro. You're still under stress. Like when you're in the joint, you can get your hustle on, you can hit a yard, you see the light at the end of the tunnel because you've already been sentenced, dude. When you're in fucking county jail, you haven't been sentenced yet. You're under stress. It's like a level 5 prison. Like you don't get no yard. You know what I mean? It sucks, bro.
Yeah.
And when I sat down and figured it out, doing 4.5 years in county, I was like, oh, God damn, like it blows my mind. But yet that had a lot to do with it, man, because I saw a lot of shit in there. I saw a lot of people going to the joint for a long time for drug-related crimes, and these were good people, dude. These were people that, that if they weren't on drugs, they'd be, upstanding members of society doing shit with their lives, man. And here they're going to the joint for 5 to 10 years because of some shit they did for, so I saw that repeatedly over and over and over again. And all my friends went to the joint, dude, like every single one of them, man. They either died or went to prison. And I kept seeing that. But what it is, man, is no matter how many people you got in your ear, when it comes to addiction, no matter how many people you got in your ear telling you to get sober, how many treatment facilities you go to, what you do, you're not going to quit until you're ready, dude. That's just the way it is, man. It has to be your time to quit. And I just reached my time, bro.
That's it, man.
It was my time. And I was over it, dude. I was finally over it. It took me a long time. But now I'm in West Virginia. I'm out here in the country, dude. I love it, man. I wake up, I got an apple tree in my backyard. I wake up to deer in my backyard every day. I'm living a slow life. I feel like, you ever seen the movie Funny Farm with Chevy Chase? I feel like I'm
Yeah,
Chevy
yeah,
Chase
yeah.
in Funny Farm, dude. It's like, yeah, man. I feel like I'm like that, bro. And it's just, it's mad cool. I got a good relationship with my kids now. My family's, everybody's came back around. And I just stay consistent, dude. Every day, I just get up. I do my workout. I have to do my workout. I do my workout for my head, not for the aesthetics, dude. I do it for anxiety and depression, and then I go to work every day, and I keep my schedule. I keep my schedule consistent. I keep it routine. I keep it the same, and I don't variate very much. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and that's how I stay. That's how I stay on the state and narrow, and I keep people in my life that are like-minded, dude. That aren't using, that aren't criminal minded, aren't doing a bunch of shit. I keep people in my mind they're or around me that are positive and have goals in their life, and you know what I mean. So you tell I can tell you your future by the 5 people you hang out with. You know what I mean? Like, you are your company, bro. Like, it's straight up. This A lot of that shit's cliche, but I mean it's true story, man. You know what I mean? You start hanging out with millionaires, pretty soon you're gonna be a millionaire. You hang out in the barbershop long enough, you're gonna get a haircut. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I strongly
So
believe in that to a certain extent, man, for sure. Uh, well, damn, dude, you got one hell of a story. I mean, you were in the Coast Guard, you
I got,
certified
bro.
firefighter,
I
you
got so much.
scholarship college. I mean, I know you
Yeah,
got so many damn crazy party stories alone. So,
bro.
I can only
I got
imagine.
so much. Listen, I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book, bro. I'm gonna write this in a book, and I mean, I maybe when I get this Wi-Fi, maybe we can do this again, and when I got some better reception, I'll go into some of them stories if you want, because they're crazy, dude. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
and I
exactly
mean,
that's exactly what I was leading into. I don't want to get into depth on something really good, and the connection keeps messing up. But I know you got some really good stories. So, man, like you said, when the connection gets a little better or something, man, you come out and start cranking out some more stories for us, man. Because I'm really enjoying it. I was sucked in. I think the people are gonna enjoy this. I think they're gonna want more, hear more of your story as well. You know what I mean?
I got a lot more, bro. I got a lot more fire to drop, bro. So let's do this, man.
That's cool. That's cool, man. Let me ask you this though. You say you got videos of some ESPN footage, stuff like that. How can people find this stuff or find a way to follow you?
Okay, I'm only on, dude. I'm only on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, man.
Hmm.
My uncle told me last night I should do the TikTok thing, and I should start expanding, because just to get my name out there. But I'm on Instagram and YouTube as Vegas Dallas 01, but I'm on Facebook as Dallas Wharton, WHARTON. You can go on there. You go to my videos and you click on my videos and you go all the way to the bottom, and you'll see it was game of the week on ESPN, and we played Pitt. We were beating them by 19 points going into the fourth quarter, and they came back and beat us 54-53, I think the score was. But that was
Damn.
on ESPN. That was Big East game of the week. You can see me in the game, on the field. You can see me on the sideline. It shows me and everything. I got my high school highlight tapes on there too, and I got some other goofy comedy shit I did on there. So yeah, people can check that out. But yeah, I'm on there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have everything linked and pinned in the comment section, description of the video for y'all to go check out and follow them if y'all want to. And I'm looking forward to some more stories later on down the road, man. I appreciate you coming out here and telling us a little bit about Vegas and your journey. I mean, you got a wealth of stories, I can tell, man. You know, college alone, I'm sure. Yeah, see, I like stories like that. This is a prison channel, yeah. But parties and crime could be part of a genre in this channel, you know what I mean?